From Kobe making his team choose between him and Shaq to Irving refusing to apologize for his discriminatory comments, most NBA players are never the ones to avoid drama. And that's exactly what I'll be telling you about today. The league is filled with drama queens, but these picks definitely stand out.
I think some of the criticism of the Jewish faith in the community, for sure. Some points made in there that were unfortunate.
I think that the only proper way to start this video is by talking about none other than Kyrie Irving. I bet you already know why he's on this list. That's right, it's because of him sharing and promoting an anti-Semitic documentary on his social media, and what happened when he was asked to apologize? He didn't. Yep, and to keep him from getting suspended, his team also offered to pay a hefty fine and make donations to different organizations in his place. This is giving some a lot of spoiled child vibes. And I don't know about you, but that sounds like some real diva behavior to me.
Whole internet going up in an uproar in terms of how embarrassed we should be, which is true. And we just wanted to make sure we paid attention to detail tonight, came out and responded.
Oh, and that's not all. The player also has been called out for being a narcissist, which I know is a pretty big accusation, but hear me out. Not so long ago, Irving's trade demand took the news by a storm, and a lot of people had a problem with it. Why? Because it just meant that he was leaving poor Kevin Durant high and dry. The two of them were supposed to work together and make something good out of the team. You know, turn it in a safe space and whatnot. But now, with Irving picking his own interests over everything and ditching the team, it kind of makes sense that he would end up on this list. Alright, that's enough from Kyrie.
The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
Let's talk about the King now. And to be honest, you kinda expect the King to act like a diva at least sometimes. After all, he's considered to be one of the best players the league has ever seen. LeBron James has a history of being called out on his dramatic antics, even at the moment. While he's out working on his knee injury, many people have aimed their jabs at the player and his over-the-top behavior. Wondering what I'm talking about? Well, here's the thing. A video of LeBron surfaced where the player was supposedly jumping up and down at a concert. This made everyone think that he was back in shape, but then recently he joined his team in the arena while riding on a scooter, implying that it was difficult for him to even walk.
This guy's fast.
Getting out the way.
Water.
And for a lot of fans, this was pretty much a cry for attention. Okay, I'm gonna leave it up to you. Do you think he's a drama queen, or is he being serious? I guess one of the main reasons behind everything he does is the fact that he's a child star. So he's kind of built that way. But hey, whatever it might be, LeBron is still an ultimate champ. Speaking of great players being drama queens, I think it's only fair for me to mention Patrick Ewing.
There's a lot of emotion going out there, Vernon. That's why the officials are doing a good job of trying to get this thing under control before it gets out of hand.
The starting center for New York Knicks earned quite the reputation as a big whiner on the court, and while he might have shifted to the Seattle Supersonics and even Orlando Magic later in his career, but the whining, well, it remained the same. Who doesn't love a consistent king? Now, during his days on the court, it seems as though the player was actively looking for something to complain about, and of course, many people would just lay back down, and why wouldn't they? After all, he had a 7-foot frame. Now, Ewing might have offered one of the best defenses of the league, but hey, that didn't stop him from whining. Oh, not at all. If the referee as much as looked at his whistle, you could expect Patrick to throw his hands up in frustration, and how can I forget about the look of utter confusion? He made it seem like he was being insulted or something. No one did it like Ewing.
Ball fight. Tonight was a ball fight, man. We knew that was going to come in with a lot of energy. Tonight was a ball fight. You ever been in a ball fight? Ask Charles. He been in a ball fight.
Well, except maybe Kevin Garnett. The Boston Celtics player was the queen of the queens. Yep, that's right. If you ever need a masterclass in taking your reactions to the next level, I suggest that you sit through some footage of Garnett playing. And believe me, that would be more than enough. What has Garnett not done? From yelling at referees to throwing tantrums in the court and even confronting other players, he's got a pretty diverse diva resume. Oh, and let me remind you, he also took a shot at another player's groin once. I think think that should do a fine job of explaining what we're dealing with here. Honestly though, if I didn't know better, I'd assume that these tantrums were a part of his job description because he was always ready to go off, even at the tiniest of things.
Chuck, all I want to wait. We said what you say. The winning guys win.
The guy on the top is the winner. No, bro. I'm on top, but listen.
Now, moving on to some big names, this might not surprise you that much, but Shaquille O'Neal was also a big-time drama queen. I guess it just came naturally to him. After all, he has a pretty massive frame. To this day, his 325 pounds existence makes him one of the most massive and aggressive players in the low post. If you remember seeing one of his games, then you've probably witnessed at least one of the many of his sidebars with the referees. The man just had a problem with pretty much all their calls. And let me tell you, these discussions weren't always civil. Yep, things got heated pretty often. I'm guessing the referees were super happy when they found out that Shaq was retiring. After all, arguing with him must have been pretty difficult. Now, this next player, well, I'm sure that a lot of you are waiting for his name to pop up. Yep, I am in fact talking about Charles Barkley. Yep, he's the one player who has managed to maintain his reputation as a drama queen even all these years after retiring. Whether it's him continuing to highlight his feud with his Airness Michael Jordan or roasting other players, Chuck doesn't know what it means to be low-key. I guess it's a good thing that he's currently working as a TNT analyst because that's the only job where he's gonna get paid for his over-the-top reactions. But what about his days on the field? Well, even then he was prone to throwing some serious fits and tantrums. And I get it. You might say that his actions make him more of a hothead, and that's right, but his diva behavior and all the cries for the spotlight, well, it kinda makes him the perfect fit for this category as well. Now, I've saved the best for last. We know Kobe Bryant to be the ultimate champ, and it definitely won't be wrong to say that he mesmerized the entire world with his skills. But here's the thing, he was also known for his fits of frenzy. His complaints and the infamous hand flailing, well, the world of NBA was all too familiar with it, and not in a good way. If he got called out by a referee, then chances were that Kobe would be up in his face, rather than just moving on with the game. And while that's solid grounds for a player to end up on this list, you just can't expect someone as great as Kobe to be recognized for something this normal. Nope, let me tell you something wild. The player actually gave the Lakers an ultimatum. He made them choose between him and Shaq. Now, I don't know about you, but that's ultimate drama queen behavior. With that being said, it's a wrap for the drama queens of the NBA.